Welcome to Chapter 20 on Religion. This video will explore various aspects of religion and its role in society. Our main competency for this video is to apply sociological perspectives to current issues, problems, and institutions related to religion. Please note that this is based on old teaching material and some data may not reflect current conditions. We will learn about the sociology of religion, covering religion around the world, theoretical analyses of religion, and the relationship between religion and social change. Sociology analyzes the consequences of religion for social life. However, it is important to remember that no scientific research can assess the truth of any religious belief or personal faith. Religion is a social institution involving beliefs and practices based on the concept of the sacred. Émile Durkheim, a French sociologist, noted that religious beliefs often surpass our knowledge, distinguish between the sacred and profane, and are practiced through rituals. Let's define some related vocabularies. Profane refers to an ordinary element of everyday life. Sacred is extraordinary and inspires a sense of awe. A ritual is a formal ceremonial behavior, and faith is a conviction rather than scientific evidence. The world's 6 major religions account for about 3/4 of humanity. They include Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Hinduism, Buddhism, and Confucianism, sometimes referred to as Taoism or Taoism. We can categorize these 6 major religions into Western religions, which are deity-based, and Eastern religions, which are ethics-based. Western religions include Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, while Eastern religions include Hinduism, Buddhism, and Confucianism or Taoism. Eastern religions, like Hinduism and Buddhism, are typically ethics-based and often informally fused into culture, making a less clear distinction between the sacred and secular. Western religions are deity-based, with a focus on God and organized worship in formal groups. A common element across all is a belief in a higher moral force. Part 1 of our theoretical analyses focuses on the functions of religion using a structural functional approach. Durkheim believed religion represents the collective life of society. A weakness of this approach is that it ignores religious dysfunctions, such as conflict between different religious groups. The structural functional analysis highlights 3 main functions of religion. First, social cohesion, where shared values and norms unite people. Second, social control, where religion promotes conformity. Finally, providing meaning and purpose, offering a sense of comfort and stability. Part 2 focuses on constructing the sacred, using symbolic interaction analysis. Peter Berger noted that society is a human product, and nothing but a human product, that yet continuously acts back upon its producer. Religion is socially constructed, and religious holidays, for example, help separate the sacred from the profane. Part 3 is about inequality and religion, using social conflict analysis. This perspective highlights how religion can support social hierarchy. Karl Marx called religion the opium of the people, arguing it legitimizes the status quo and diverts attention from social inequality, which we see examples of in gender and politics. The image on the slide, showing worshippers with AR-15 rifles and bullet crowns, is an example related to the potential for social conflict and the use of religious institutions to support actions and ideas that may be harmful. Liberation theology, a fusion of Christian principles and political activism, is an example of religion and social change. It finds in the gospel a call to free people from oppression and promote social equality, as exemplified by activists like Martin Luther King Jr., who believed only light and love can overcome darkness and hate. Max Weber explored how religious thinking drives social change, specifically looking at Protestantism and capitalism. He noted that Calvinism's belief in predetermined fate led followers to work diligently for God's favor, inadvertently laying the foundation for industrial capitalism through the Protestant work ethic. Religious organizations fall into 3 types. A sect stands apart from society, while a church is well integrated, including state churches allied with the government and denominations independent of the state. A cult's beliefs are substantially outside the society's cultural traditions. Churches have a formal setting and trained leaders. Sects are informal with attentive listening and charismatic leaders. Cults hold beliefs outside cultural traditions, often viewed by society as radical or deviant. In the US, 90% of adults claim a religious preference. The largest number of Americans belong to various Protestant denominations, showing the prevalence of religious affiliation in the country. This table shows the top 10 largest national Christian populations. The USA ranks first with over 224 million Christians, representing 85% of its population. Other top nations include Brazil, Mexico, and Russia. In the US in 1998, Protestant denominations accounted for the largest share of religious identification at 55.7%, followed by Catholics at 25.7%. There were also approximately 7 million Muslims in the US at that time. Religiosity is the importance of religion in a person's life and is measured by 5 dimensions: experiential, ritualistic, ideological, consequential, and intellectual. Measuring it is difficult because religious commitment varies greatly. Religious affiliation is linked to social stratification. For example, Episcopalians and Presbyterians are often associated with a higher social class, while Baptists and Lutherans are typically associated with a lower social class. Religion and national identity are often interconnected, tying ethnicity and race to faith. Examples include Irish Catholics and Russian Jews, illustrating how religious beliefs can be integral to cultural and ethnic identity. We now look at religion in a changing society, examining secularization, civil religion, religious revival, religious fundamentalism, and the future of religion in the 21st century. Secularization is the historical decline in the importance of the supernatural and the sacred. It suggests a shift in focus from religious authority to worldly matters and is visible in modern society. With secularization, phenomena like birth, illness, and death are increasingly seen through a scientific lens rather than divine intervention. Religious organizations are shifting focus from eternal issues to social problems like poverty. Civil religion is a quasi-religious loyalty, binding individuals in a secular society. It involves rituals like honoring the national anthem and using national symbols, such as the flag, as sacred objects of national identity. Religious revival demonstrates changing affiliations, with some groups like Episcopal and Presbyterian denominations seeing declines. Conversely, religions such as Mormonism and certain Christian groups have experienced increases in affiliation. Religious fundamentalism is a conservative doctrine opposing intellectualism and worldly accommodation, advocating for a return to traditional spirituality. Fundamentalists seek to defend traditional values against the growing influence of science and modern changes. Fundamentalists interpret sacred texts literally and reject religious pluralism. They emphasize the personal experience of God's presence, often oppose secular humanism, and frequently endorse conservative political goals. The electronic church refers to the increasing use of technology, like computers and television, by religious organizations to spread their message. Millions watch religious TV regularly, though it is not exclusive to the United States. Looking at religion in the 21st century, its continuing appeal lies in addressing timeless questions about human existence that science cannot answer. Religion is expected to remain a significant part of modern society. Here are some related videos on today's topics, including documentaries and news segments covering groups like the Westboro Baptist Church and the historical example of Jim Jones.